Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Dai, acting fast, this is what millions of Juventini are expecting from Juventus as a club. Acting fast, we need to take decisions, important ones, and we don't care that there is still a game to play in 22-23. We want to focus on the next season. Change of coach, announcing sporting director, players in, players out, but fast. That's the message. And I give you a really beautiful news. The news that we will speak about, or the words that I will report from John Elkann, will give you trust, because that's what he wants. Acting really fast. So remain on the channel, because the words of John Elkann are going towards that direction. We will speak about sporting director. We will speak about Tudor freeing himself from Marseille. That could go potentially in the direction of acting really fast, but also some players. You see here the shirt, Zakaria. We will speak about him and other ones. So maximum of like, maximum of views on the channel. Share the video with all your Juventini friends, but also the non-Juventini that you want to convert. That would be fantastic. I saw that the views at the moment are really going up. Thank you for that, because I feel the interest, the curiosity, the will of Juventus. So maximum of likes, subscribe to the channel, we start. But first, I want to speak about something that me, as a football fan, are really ashamed of. What we saw yesterday, guys, ragazzi, in the airport of Budapest is really something that is unacceptable. There is no way to justify what we saw yesterday. Roma fans harassing and with acts of violence towards Taylor, the referee of Sevilla-Roma. Sevilla won the Europa League, we know it. Roma lost, they are blaming the referee, and we can accept it because it was a strange way of going with the referee. Yes, we know, Juventini, we know. We are still complaining about the VAR of Salernitana. We are still complaining about Pogba, Dani Alves contact in the final of against Barcelona in 2015. I am still complaining about Mijatovic being offside in 1998 in the Real Madrid final. So we know what it is to not accept, and you will never accept that decision that actually costed you a final. But there is something, at a certain moment you have to move on. You can still accept or not, but you have to move on. You are obliged, and especially not transforming your sadness, your anger into acts of violence. Ragazzi, football is the most beautiful sport of the world, is a passionate sport. You have to put your emotion in it, but passion has a limit. Passion has a limit. You can use words, and you have to pay attention even what you are saying, but especially never going in with act of violence. And I'm not blaming Roma, I'm blaming football. Some part, the ugly part of football, of whatever fan base, Roma, Inter, Juventini, us. Let's not pretend that we are better. These are the things that make me really ashamed of being a football fan. Anyway, it can't happen. And if you are opening Corriere dello Sport with l'ultimo mu, the last Mourinho, because probably he will leave Roma after being eliminated of Europa League, well, I have to admit that I'm happy. I'm happy because I want examples. I want perfect behaviors. And if I always respected Mourinho for the way that he communicated, the way that he was able to gather a team, the way that he was able to put his philosophy, his ideas on the field and winning so much, well, 2 days ago, I was really not appreciating what he did. Going into the garage, waiting for the referee, blaming him. We all know what he said, the words that he used. I don't even want to come back on that. No grazie. No thank you, Mourinho. You can do better. You have to be better than that. Anyway, let's speak about Juventus with the words of John Elkann, that yesterday was in a congress. He spoke to university people and he said important things. He didn't speak about football, so don't expect that he say Allegri in, Allegri out, but he spoke about business model, how him as a businessman is actually leading his company. And he said something really interesting that I translated. He said, acting fast, the velocity in taking decision, and by consequence having a precise direction, taking a precise direction is a real asset for a company. Faster you solve problems, better you can organize and face the problem with profit. Important words from John Elkann that I want to repeat. Is the owner of Exor and by consequence owner of the majority of Juventus. He said acting fast, and I know that you all want that today we already take decision. You just can't wait to hear that we change or not the coach, depending what kind of supporter you are. Some are Allegri in still today, a majority are Allegri out. Today I will not reveal you what the decision will be, but I will tell you one thing and I can reassure you, we will act fast. Some will be happy, some will be sad, but we will act fast. And the first one is reported by Gazzetta dello Sport. Giuntoli, Juve arrivo. Giuntoli, Juventus, I am coming. I am arriving. Wait for me. 7 days. 7 days. Because we know it. End of Serie A will be on the 4th of June. He will say goodbye to Napoli and then he will do everything he can to free himself from Napoli. Will De Laurentiis accept or not? We already spoke about all these kind of things. You know already the details, but we want to act fast with priority. And this is when you will tell me, and I know it on the comments, Beppe, what are you speaking about? Acting fast. It's already 6 months that John Elkann is there with the board that resigned. We are not fast enough. Well, acting fast with priorities. The first priority, and we all know it, was defending Juve off the field. I believe that they have also been really transparent in not rebuilding at the moment a new sporting direction. What they will do now, because the first priority has been worked off. We have -10. Probably out of Europe. We know it that we have a fee of 720 million to pay with salary maneuver, but we found an agreement, a deal that was the best possible. Everything is over now in terms of court in Italy with Federazione Italiana Gioco Calcio. Now we can speak about football. And that's what John Elkann is doing, acting fast. We are waiting the end of Serie A, meeting with Max Allegri, but also especially appointing a new sporting director. Ragazzi, what about Allegri? Today, his good friend, his mentor, Galeone, spoke again, saying he will not leave. So a decision will have to be taken. Tutto Sport is going towards acting fast. Tudor fa un passo verso la Juve. Tudor is taking a step towards Juve. Why? Because yesterday he freed himself from Marseille. They are putting some percentages with 30% Max Allegri remaining, 25% Tudor joining Juventus, 15% for Consensao, 20% for Thiago Motta, 10% for Italiano. A choice will have to be made really, really fast. I believe that Juventus not acting before the 15th of June in really taking a big decision will be a mistake. But I'm reassured with the words of John Elkann yesterday. Andiamo veloci ragazzi, we have to take it, we have to take decision to have a precise view towards where we are going. Can Tudor be the one that will replace Allegri? Yes, he can. Because he will be one of the easiest one to put under contract with Juve. Because in the low budget we have to actually replace Allegri, if we replace Allegri, and again, if we replace Allegri, what are the conditions? I made a video yesterday, a lot of you watched that video. If you didn't yet, go back and watch it. The plan that will be spoken about with Allegri, the assessment, and the 3 questions that he needs to answer. But if he leaves, well, we have a lower budget, 2.5 million for a coach, and then additional for the staff. But yesterday, there was the confirmation from Pablo Longoria, who is actually the president of Marseille, that said that they accepted the decision of Igor Tudor to leave. They said thank you and so on and so on. But what is the reason for Igor Tudor leaving Marseille? He said it, he want to thank everyone, blah, 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 blah. But he said working a year, a full season at Marseille, looks like 2 or 3 seasons somewhere else. And then he's saying, I'm thinking about that solution of stopping with Marseille since a while, since a bit now. I'm okay with it, I'm chill, I'm relaxed. The details doesn't matter, it's what I feel that matters. At the moment, he said also that he has no agreement with other club, but let's see what will happen in the future. He wants to stop. Well, it's a good news, it's a bad news. The good news is he's free and he can come to Juve. He has always been in the list of the possible replacement of Max Allegri, but now he's even more up in the list for one simple reason. We can act fast with Igor Tudor. Could be a potential. Now, the negative news, of course, is again, it's not the first time that Igor Tudor, after a semi-season or a full season, is saying, I feel too much. It's too much. I need a bit of time. I need to step back. He said it yesterday for private reason and professional reason. What are the professional reasons? I have no idea. The private reason I'm even more curious about, because if it's because of stress, well, Marseille, if it was like 2-3 seasons in one, going to Juventus, rebuilding a project with Juventus will be like 5 or 6 seasons in one. So let's see. I'm really still doubtful about Tudor, even if there are a lot of points that I like. For example, his way of playing. 3-4-2-1, something that you know it if you are following the channel. I have been a big fan of since the beginning. Big fan of 3-4-2-1, especially with a lot of players that we have. Ragazzi, I want to speak about that man. Zakaria that will come back. I believe that Zakaria is still a great player. I believe that it's one of the best signing that Juventus did for a really cheap 5 million euro for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Unfortunately, we were playing with 3 men in the midfield. 3 men which are not in the skills of Zakaria. I saw him playing against Manchester City when he was at Chelsea. Fantastic. One of the best, if not the man of the match. I saw some games, some flashes at Juventus, but also some games with Borussia Mönchengladbach. He is strong. I still believe in Zakaria. I bought his shirt not for nothing, so I need some return on investment. No, but I believe if we go with Tudor, and if we go towards a 3-4-2-1, he could be perfect next to Locatelli in a 2-man midfield. And that's why we need to act fast, because the sporting director will put a journey, a path, a project. The coach will also go towards a formation, an idea of football that I told you 2 words are important: dynamism and energia. Energia. Going fast. Intensity. That's the word I was looking for. Intensity. Well, Zakaria could be perfect in that 3-4-2-1. But first we need to understand if we will have a coach that is playing with 3 men in the back. If you are going with a 4-man and a 3-man in the midfield, Zakaria, you will need to sell him. That would not be a problem, ragazzi, because he will not remain at Chelsea. He will come back. But there are already a lot of offers for Zakaria that could give you potentially also some plusvalenza. But the good one, the positive one. 5 million, you can sell him even for 15, 20 million. You can take a lot of money. Also, acting fast for Miretti, a youth player that had a disappointed season with Juventus, his first real season at Juve. We all know how it went. He still has a last chance against Udinese to open his score with Juventus in Serie A, in a professional world, first team. So let's hope he can do it. But also him is fighting and he wants to know his future, because if you are playing with 2-man midfield, do you still believe? Do you still have space for Miretti, knowing that Rovella will come back, for example? What about Rovella? Acting fast, because he's a real regista. Can he play in a 2-man midfield? A lot of question, and that's why we have to act fast. Acting fast, that's what Juventus did with renewing Szczesny, not because they sat with him and they decided to continue, but because they had some, and we know it, Alexandro, Quadrado, a lot of players from 2017 to 2020, they had a special clause in their contract achieving certain things. They would be automatically renewed. Szczesny had 1 more year, now it's 2 years. He can remain at Juve and I would be happy with that. On the other side, he could leave, because it's not because he renewed that automatically he will remain at Juve. Still has the possibility to leave for one simple reason: high salary, and Juventus is looking for a sustainable project where you're going lower with all the salary cost. So if, and I believe it's a good news, because or you keep Szczesny or you sell him, but if he still has 2 years of contract, you can even ask a bit more money if you want to sell him. So actually the renewal for Szczesny, for me, that was automatical. It's a good news. It's a good news. Now we have to act fast also with Dusan Vlahovic, because Bayern already started. They want Dusan Vlahovic, and I believe that taking a decision with Dusan Vlahovic is crucial. It's important to understand who you can go for to replace him. Also how many money you will take, because apparently Bayern Munich is offering the first offer 50-60 million. And this is what I was scared of when I heard Bayern Munich is the #1 priority, the #1 club that is on Vlahovic. We all know what happened with De Ligt. Sold well, okay, but not extraordinary well. So I don't want 50-60 million euro. Juventus says we want at least 80 million euro. Where will they find an agreement? I don't know. But from there, you know how many money you have to reinvest on the Mercato. That's super important. That's what we have to go really fast. Also because acting fast is important. Replacing him, you know, if you want a player like Højlund, you will need to be fast. You are already late, because a lot of clubs are on him, like Bayern Munich, eventually Real Madrid, Arsenal, Manchester United, and apparently Atalanta. They are not stupid. They are asking already 60 million euro. Is it exaggerated? Absolutely yes. But when you have top clubs on player, if you are late and you are not in the run, well, that's the problem that you could potentially face. Now Juventus could be also on a new player, Chalobah from Chelsea, that is in exit, not for a big fee. They're all already Inter on him. So Inter, Juve on that 23 years old English defender. Could be a potential great player for Juve. Why not? Can he be now announced at Juve? Absolutely not. Again, acting fast, sporting director. coach affirming or not Allegri and then going towards a philosophy of football fast. But one thing that we can't go really fast with, well, it's the UEFA, that they will take their time, I believe, until the 3rd, 4th week of June to decide if they will ban us from European competition. 1 year, 2 years, we will have to wait. What looks like they are doing is banning Barcelona, even if they were first in La Liga, they won La Liga. Apparently they want to ban them. We know it, huh? The Super League teams, they will have to suffer. The consequences are harsh, are big, and looks like Barcelona will be punished. So if Barcelona is punished, I believe as well that we have to accept that next year we will not be in European football. It is what it is. Acting fast, reassured by John Elkann. Let's see. But guys, acting fast is not tomorrow. Will be not before the 5th of June. We will have some hot days in June. Remain with me on the channel, notification ring on, because every single moment new videos can come with new fresh news. Grazie, forza, Juve.